What's up, Junkies? Welcome back in for another edition of Pigskin Junkies, Week 13 of the NFL season, the Turkey edition. We got Thanksgiving coming up. I'm Michael Larson, Big Brother Jerry Larson, and Scott Panza. How we doing, fellas?
Fantastic. Juice for Turkey Day. I'm ready to roll. I got some nice reds planned for my pre-turkey, my post-turkey, and a nice spot on the couch. Just all ironed out for me to watch tons of football tomorrow. Juiced.
Yeah, this is the greatest football weekend of the year. Kick it off on Thursday, 3 NFL games, a college game, a nice turkey coma, and then roll it into Friday where nice, sizable college slate, and then that rolls into Saturday, and then, of course, Sunday, and then our Vikings, Micah, play. There are Vikings this week.
We're back
Monday.
to our.
I'm back on the wagon this week because I'll be betting them. Sneak preview of what's coming later. Our Vikings on Monday night. So it literally starts tomorrow and is 5 straight days of football, which I'm stoked about.
Yeah.
It's going to be
If it
good.
sounds
Give
like
it to
I'm subdued, it's because I'm in a hotel lobby and I'm trying to be somewhat respectable to the other humans that are here.
To all the elderly couples that are staring at you with judgment as you talk about gambling.
Definitely. Oh, yeah.
I can't wait to
can
see
feel
their.
'em.
I want to see their faces when you start saying upways, backways, sideways, Wonka Vader. Or give that to me.
What, Jerry, did you
Streaming.
try and tweet that GIF that didn't work?
Jeff, it's
Yeah,
Jeff.
It's GIF, Micah, and I failed as a card-carrying millennial, unable to successfully tweet a GIF. Because it was supposed to be the GIF, and then it was just the picture of Gene Wilder, like with his
Looking like
eyes
a
raised.
madman.
Yeah, it didn't work.
Did not work.
But I mean, that who cares about the GIF? The game was never in contest. That was easy money in your pocket.
It's true. So, what do you say we get into it, fellas? We'll talk about the Turkey Day games. Since there's like 3 of them now, right?
There's 3.
Makes no
The
sense.
last one, though, I'm pretty confident I will not be able to make it past the first quarter. Kickoff is at 8:15. I will be in a turkey wine coma by way earlier than that, so I'll have one
Scott
eye
will be
open.
passed out before kickoff, guaranteed.
Unfortunately, I have so much fantasy action riding on that game, particularly in best ball, and the best ball playoffs start this weekend, and I have Julio and Michael Thomas going. So that game has a major, and Calvin Ridley, major impact on my best ball playoff. So it's going to be a 2 a.m. wake up, calculate the stats in my head, and fall back asleep, unfortunately.
On the couch. Stats on the way to the bedroom.
Yep. No. Jared, I'll stay on the couch at that point. You've come that far. You just got to finish
Just
it
got to finish the race. You just got to finish strong. Love it.
Yeah, I used to do that on Saturday nights, try and watch Pac-12 after dark, wake up like on the floor and be like, all right, it's the third quarter. I'm going to bed.
Hair's all messed up. Just drool all over the pillow. Phenomenal.
That's right. Should tell you how uncomfortable my couch is for sleeping, that I prefer to sleep on the floor.
Well, fellas, let's just dive right into it then, shall we? We'll dive into the first Turkey Day game, which is always the Detroit Lions, the Motor City Kitties, who the Roar, we got pump faked. It was not the MGM
Restore
Lion.
the Roar.
It was just Kitty Cat. It was Tom from Tom and Jerry. It was not the big old lion. But anywho, Lions are at home, but they're underdogs. And this got locked in. Now, Scott, I know you got a little bit of a take on this, but this got locked in the Super Contest at -4.5.
Yeah, and I think it's up to Bears -5 at this point because David Blau from Purdue, who I asked multiple people who love college football where he went to school, and everyone had to Google it. So not a good sign. I'd be on the Bears at this point, but I tried to get it in earlier. I wrote about it today. I think the much more value is just take Bears money line. That at this point is just you can't expect an undrafted rookie who was a 3-star in high school to come in his first start on a short week unprepared and go beat one of the best defenses in the NFL. It's not going to happen, but fluky things can happen because Mitch Trubisky is not he's not a stud quarterback, so maybe they cover the number. I think the value is just hammer away at the money line and just lay the 2.5 to 1. I got this in beginning of the week when I saw the Driscoll news that he may be out with his hamstring at 2.5. If you can somehow get it under 3, which I don't know how you can at this point, I'd hop on that. But I think the Bears are just going to take it to him. It's a Trubisky, Tariq Cohen, Allen Robinson type game. They were able to move Allen Robinson around enough to avoid Darius Slay in their first meeting of the season. And Trubisky's lit up in the Bears, and the Bears are the Lions. Or he's lit up the Lions in his career, and the Lions just lost to Dwayne Haskins and the Redskins. So this is a dejected team, too many injuries. Bears lay the points, but I think hammer the money line, and the under is extremely juicy.
This will be a no play for me situationally. I was really looking to back the Lions here. Can't get there with David Blau. Your resident college football expert, Scott, did know that David Blau played at Purdue, mainly because he played against Auburn in the bowl game last year. Anyhow, I bet the Bears and Giants under 40 last week. Total is sitting at 37 currently. That's where I'll be looking to play this game, is under the 37. And potentially even under in the first half, but no interest in laying 5 points with Mitchell Trubisky at quarterback on the road. So this will be a pass for me at this point.
Mitchell, yeah, the battle of the quarterbacks. I think at the end of the day, you just got to look at Khalil Mack and smile. It's gonna be a Bears defensive touchdown. It's got to be.
And in DFS, the Bears defense is actually so cheap on the one-day slate tomorrow. So I just feel like I don't know who's not going to be playing the Bears in cash and GPPs. I imagine there's the contrarian plays to fade them, but I don't think it's worth it. I think they're just going to take it to these guys.
Yeah. So I mean, look, everyone's going to be munching down some turkey tomorrow, firing click, click, click. So if you're going to bet this game, take the under.
Yeah. It's not fun betting unders on nationally televised games, but let me tell you, you're going to thank yourself at the end of the day.
Life's too short. But anywho, the next game that all of us on this podcast and those of you who listen, so I think we got a pretty good following now that are all on the wagon, and that is the Bills traveling to Jerry World on Thanksgiving. Cowboys minus 6.5.
If you listened to the pod last week, you know that I said this is going to be Bills plus 7 when it opens, and hopefully you caught that 7. I caught the 7. I still will catch 6.5. I candidly think that they will beat the Cowboys, but I will lay much less lumber on them money line. I just think this is just a great spot again for the Bills. Short week Cowboys, a lot of noise this week, a lot of noise, Jason Garrett incompetency. They haven't beat any teams above 500 this year. And the Bills they're still undervalued by Vegas because of DVOA and some of these advanced stats. This is a team that just does what it needs to do to win football games. The secondary for the Cowboys have been getting torched, and a Cole Beasley revenge game coming. Love the Bills in this spot. Better coaching, great defense that's going to take away the wide receivers, and so it's Zeke or bust. And frankly, I don't think Zeke looks all that good right now, but I'm sure you'll see him feeding himself some air chili on Thanksgiving. But Bills, I think, will win. I think very confident they'll cover. This is one of my favorite bets of the weekend.
Yeah, I don't have to say it anymore. Also on the Bills, continuing to be disrespected. Jason Garrett's going to keep kicking field goals instead of going for touchdowns, which actually cost us the cover with the Patriots last week. But continue to get to the window with the Buffalo Bills, playing tight games, great coaching, solid quarterback play, and a fantastic defense. So all of those things in my mind travel on a short week, which normally would be a concern of mine. 7 points, just too much here, and I like a little bit of pizza money on the money line at plus 250 as well. So no disagreement with Scott. I'm on the Bills every which way, and this will be probably betting too much on this one because I'll have a few too many whiskeys between 1 and 3 p.m.
It's going to feel so good.
I know.
Hey, nothing
The
to worry
perfect
about.
spot.
But just eating a boatload of food. It'll be great. Hey, Scott, if you don't think you're going to make it to this game, I got another. We're going to throw a little college game in there. You can maybe squeeze in the Egg Bowl between Ole Miss and Mississippi State, the only college game going on tomorrow. But anywho, the Falcons are at home taking on the Saints from New Orleans, -7. Well, I guess I'll say the Falcons are +7 at home.
So no play from me on this one. I've whiffed on both these teams all season. I lean Falcons, just short week in division, but it would not surprise me if the Saints just laid the hammer to them. So I'm staying away. Probably action on the over by the end of the day, assuming the early bets hit and I need a reason to stay up, but I won't be able to stay up. And no play, lean Falcons, but I've been wrong on this team all year, so probably don't listen to me.
Scott, I'm glad Scott acknowledged it because I was going to be like, this is Scott's double bugaboo game of the of twice a year. So this would be the normal Thursday night time slot. It's in division. It's on the road for the Saints. I would typically look to back the Falcons here. But after they beat them in New Orleans a couple of weeks ago, pretty big revenge spot in division. And, candidly, I think the Saints this is going to be earth-shattering news to anybody. The Saints are a better team.
What?
I think we saw Atlanta's true colors again last week, a regression back to a little bit more of the expectation from them after two pretty solid weeks. So also no play here for me. If I touched anything, it would probably be the under. I think this Atlanta offense continues to get a lot of respect, and they just have not done what's been expected of them all year. So obviously betting an under with the Saints, 16 cocktails in on Thursday night or on Thanksgiving Eve is not sexy or fun, but I do think it's the right side based on what I've seen from the Falcons this year.
Jared going to come in with the makeup game. the chaser on Turkey Day. Yeah, I'll just bet this one.
Well, it's going to happen, and that's where I guess I'm kind of taking the approach. Like, look, if you're listening to this podcast right now, driving to your family, you're going to hate hanging out with them by 8:20 Eastern, and you're going to fire in this game because you're going to watch it. So I'm just trying to give you a little something.
So you have an excuse, to not have to spend time with anyone.
Bet half what you would normally bet, and just take the under and enjoy it.
Honey, I can't.
I'm not going to give you a side. Flip a coin. Who cares?
I can't talk politics right now. I got money riding on this game.
Exactly. See you, Grandma. I got to go.
Yeah. Oh, it's everyone's favorite time of the year. If you're single, it's a nightmare. If you're the one person in your family who has a different political view, it's brutal. But you know what brings everyone together?
Oh, you know what the best is freshmen coming back from college the first weekend, seeing who put on the freshman 15 and who changed in the last 3 months. That's the fun stuff. You go to the local bar that lets in the underage kids. Oh, bless the kids that are out right now. This is Wednesday night and it's 9:00 and it's about to get turned around here for the youngins.
Trumbull is sleepy 364 nights a year, but let me tell you what. One night a year. It gets fired up.
Oh, yeah.
I think this is actually the most, outside of New Year's Eve, I believe this is one of the more popular nights. Is the night before, yeah.
Actually, when I was driving home, there was a lot of cops out driving 95 looking for intoxicated drivers.
Just trying to find them, just hunting.
Oh, yeah.
That's true. Yeah, I won't even. I'm not going to tell the story, Jared. I'm going to move on because this is a football podcast. We're just here to give the people what they want, and what the people want is winners. I want winners, and the question is: will a winner be picking the Packers -6.5, traveling to the Meadowlands to take on the New York Football Giants?
The Giants just seem to get there. Right now, I see 88% of the bets are on the Green Bay Packers. Saquon Barkley does not look right, so it may be a Wayne Gallman game. Golden Tate concussion, probably out for this game. I'll still back the Giants in this spot. I think weather's going to be an issue. But frankly, the Packers defense is not stopping anyone. It could be a big Darius Slayton game. If the weather clears up, I will be stacking my face off on Daniel Jones, Darius Slayton, Sterling Shepard stacks and DFS, and bring it back with Devontae Adams and Aaron Jones. So I think there's going to be a ton of points in this game. Depending on the weather, it'll be something we'll need to monitor. I'll scoop the 6.5 with the Giants, and I'll just ride Daniel Jones. I really like the kid. I really like the kid.
Darius Slayton, War Eagle.
Mm-hmm.
I am with Scott, sadly, on this. In my estimation, the bookmaker has hung a 6.5 here to tantalize the public into betting the Packers against what appears to be a completely inept New York Giants team. And this line just reeks so bad to me. I think you're going to see, and Scott alluded to it, sounds like I'm correct, a monsoon of biblical proportions of money on the Packers. I also agree I want to see a little bit more, so check our picks on Twitter on the weekend once we got a little bit more clarity on some of the weather. But for me, this is Giants or pass.
It'll be interesting to see. Danny Dimes. Speaking of Danny Dimes, how about we'll throw in some college basketball here for you, Scott. Duke, 150 home game non-conference winning streak snapped.
Stephen F.
Duke, see you later.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
Stephen F. Austin's good.
Next game, we'll keep it. We'll keep it in the great state of North Carolina, and we'll go Panthers at home, -10, taking on their friends to the north, the Washington Redskins.
Just the Redskins won their Super Bowl by actually winning a game this past weekend. Dwayne Haskins got the monkey off his back. This is a smash spot for the Panthers, who David Tepper continues to be unhappy, and people are now on the hot seat. Kyle Allen will continuously need to prove his NFL worth. So this is a smash spot for them versus a very weak secondary. Now, DJ Moore did appear on an injury list today with an injury. So if he's a no-go, it's a big problem for the Panthers because he is Allen's favorite target, but they still have Run CMC, who's an absolute monster. This is a great spot for fantasy. I'll lay the 10 with the Panthers, one of my preferred picks of the weekend.
Yeah, I'm only going to be going under here. I'm not going to be playing the side. Scott alluded to it. The Redskins played a great game, or as good as a great game for them, I should say, last week. And I would expect them to see significant regression. I do expect the big game from Christian McCaffrey, but Ron Rivera is the type of coach to me that is going to shut it down when they get up 21-0. Or 17-3 or something like that pretty quickly and get rather conservative with the play calling. So I'm seeing 39.5. I see a couple 40s out there right now. I do like under the number in this game, but no opinion on the side just because, candidly, I don't trust Ron Rivera to cover that big of a number.
You know, another thing with the Redskins, which is juicy, is Adrian Peterson is hurt. So the Panthers have been getting just crushed on the ground. So if they don't even have AP, they really don't trust Darius Geis to be running through between tackles, and Wendell Smallwood, that's definitely not his game. So the weakness of the Panthers is not going to be exploited in this one.
Run CMC. You never know with that guy.
Gonna keep having huge weeks.
Yeah, he's a machine. Next up, speaking of machines, these two, it's obviously a two-horse race for MVP, and the other candidate is Lamar Jackson. -6, the Ravens taking on the 49ers. This is in Baltimore.
Game of the weekend. Can't wait to watch it. No play on this one. I lean just continue to bet the Ravens until they don't cover, but, maybe this is one of the teams that can figure out this Ravens defense with Kyle Shanahan. I mean, I can't wait to watch this game. I'm going to be a huge Niners fan because, quite candidly, as a Pats fan, I want to give us one game of wiggle room to lose so we are not losing the tiebreak to the Ravens. So, huge Niners fan. I lean Ravens. I will be watching as a spectator anxiously, but that'll be it. No conviction in this one.
what I want to know is, how is this game at 1:00?
Oh, this is a Fox protected game. Don't touch this Niners Ravens, and then they probably just blocked it from being flexed so they can leave. They probably had a full late slate.
Oh, because I was going to say that. Why wouldn't they just put it at 4:30? Because, I mean, this is, as far as I'm concerned, this is clearly game of the weekend. I'm going to go back to the well with the Niners. I'll just keep betting against Lamar Jackson and continuing to throw my money into a Bunsen burner. Apparently that's fun for me. So I've been wrong all season. I'll just keep, like it's the roulette wheel has come up red 84 times in a row. I'm just going to keep betting black. So I'll take the Niners. What I saw from them on Sunday night in terms of their ability to scheme on offense, X's and O's, and Brian Shanahan's ability to get coach guys open, I think was very, very impressive. And I think they'll be able to score with the Ravens. So I'm getting the 5.5 here as far as I'm concerned, even if they're down, 7, 10, 11, something like that at the end of the game. It's well within that backdoor touchdown that I think they'll be able to score. So the number's just a little too much here for me. And as a consequence, I will be on the Niners.
Jimmy G, man, he's been fun to watch.
Yeah, he's been good. And this is the defensive line. If anyone's going to stop Lamar Jackson, this is the line to do it. Just athletic studs all over the place. If they don't do it,
nobody will.
Yeah.
If they don't do it, they're going to the Super Bowl.
I still think.
Scott.
I don't want to see the Ravens in the playoffs.
I was just saying, even Scott would tell you he doesn't want to see the Ravens in Baltimore in the playoffs.
They've had our number in the playoffs in the past. We've had some great games with them. And we just have a slow linebacking core. So I'm curious to see, I'm sure Bill Belichick has some tricks up his sleeve for the next time that they play. And but I just need to see it. But we're not getting there with Van Noy and Landon Roberts and Dante Hightower against him. So I don't, unless it's just Jamie Collins just spy all game, but who knows?
Maybe early 2010s Dante Hightower. Next game
to be really good.
Next game on the card.
Don't get me wrong, Dante Hightower's a stud.
He's just not as fast as he used to be.
He's lost step.
He ain't as good as he once was, but he was as good once as he ever was. That's a country song, Scott, in case you're wondering.
I was going to say, way over my head.
These are songs that, speaking of going out, these are all country songs that when you are in an Auburn bar, once it hits midnight, it is nothing but nostalgic country music.
Yeah.
And you are screaming the lyrics of every song at the top of your lungs. Friends in Low Places.
How I knew that one. I don't listen to country music at all, but I know all of those words, like the entirety of them, because I've heard them 6,000 times.
It's so true. It's painful. Oh, man. Next game. Colts in Indy, -2.5, taking on the red-hot Ryan Tannehill and the Tennessee Titans.
Fire!
It sounds like T.Y. Hilton's going to be out again. Eric Ebron done for the season. Where you're going to beat the Titan. Marlon Mack out again. So who's playing for the Colts? His number's too big. Titans money line, Titans spread. Wonkavator, upways, backways, sideways. These Titans are for real. Ryan Tannehill's legit, and Derrick Henry. This is where he really starts getting going for the season. So Wonkavator, Titans money line, spread, every which way.
Yeah, I like Titans too. This is not my Wonkavator, but I do like the Titans. They will be on the card this week. This is our seemingly weekly AFC South, like -3, extremely low volume game of the week, because there's a lot of uncertainty with the Colts. I don't think you'll see a whole lot of stuff going on in this game, but I'm a Ryan Tannehill believer. There's plenty of tape on him, so it's not like he's a new guy and they're getting tape on him. He's out there, he's played, and I really like the style with Vrabel and their toughness. So I too will be on the Titans.
It'll be a fun one. I mean, it's just nice to know that behind Marcus Mariota was a good backup this year. Just 1 year late. 1 year late.
Yeah.
But
Too soon.
still too soon.
Too soon.
It'll
It's
always
too
be
soon,
too
like
soon.
10 years from now. I know.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
It's still too soon to make Abraham Lincoln
Move on.
jokes, so, I mean, that's only fair.
That's
Dolphins.
the statute of limitations for the Tennessee Titans, yes.
Yeah. Oh, man. Next up, Dolphins at home taking on the struggling Philadelphia Eagles. The Eagles, though, -10 against the Finns.
The Dolphins lost another weapon this week. Jakeem Grant going on IR, so it's Devontae Parker and nobody else to catch passes. A weak O-line versus a defensive line that gets after the passer. Alshon Jeffrey, Nelson Aguilar should be back this game. This was in consideration for Wonka Vader. I'll lay the 10. Like I said, the Dolphins, they get nothing going. And especially if the Bills win tomorrow and beat the Cowboys, the Eagles will be seeing blood in the water and they can go claim back the division lead. So I'll lay the 10 with the Eagles. I know it's a square spot, but these Dolphins, they have no weapons. And if the Eagles can't score on this defense, I mean, they don't deserve anything.
Puke Town. This game is Puke Town, USA. It's going to be 75% Eagles fans. So the home field advantage, in my estimation, is at a minimum non-existent, at a maximum actually favors the Eagles. But that being said, they are so banged up on offense, and I watched quite a bit of that Seattle game last week, and just Carson Wentz perpetually under pressure, having to eat a lot of balls, and just not able to get any rhythm on offense. So I'll take the under 45 here because I agree with Scott. Pretty, Swiss cheesy offensive line and defense on the Eagles side of the ball that really likes to get after it. I think 45 is too many here. I think this number probably should be in the low 40s, if anything. So I will take the under. Going out a lot of unders this week for some reason, but I look at some of these offenses and I'm like, if you get to the red zone, if you're kicking field goals, not scoring touchdowns, and that, my friends, is a recipe for unders.
Jared, big under fan today.
Well, it's just do you trust
No.
people to get touchdowns? No.
Jared the Undertaker. There it is.
That's right.
Nickname.
That's right.
Boom.
A gif of me rising from the grave.
Those are still the best ones where they'll tweet like so and so, like some sort of money line or like some spread or anything. And it's just the Undertaker rising from the coffin.
Yeah.
Phenomenal every time. Chiefs and my new Mahomie, Patrick Mahomes, at Arrowhead taking on Chucky and the Raiders. Chiefs -10.
I'll lay the 10 with the Chiefs. It sounds like the Chiefs' air of being one of the most public teams has worn off. 49% of the bets are on the Chiefs, and the Raiders just got embarrassed on the road. They go back on the road, travel again cross country. Hunter Renfrow out. David Carr looked like trash last week. Laid the 10. Now all the Chiefs are healthy. Maybe Damian Williams is out, but at least they have LaShawn McCoy. They have Darwin Thompson. They got Darrell Williams. They got enough weapons there. It doesn't matter if Damian Williams is out. It's irrelevant. Lay the 10 with the Chiefs. They're definitely not. I think that they're going to lay the lumber on the Raiders tomorrow or on Sunday.
Oh, Scott just missed his inception opportunity. This is going out tomorrow. So you were right. Shit. Up, down, I can't even figure it out myself.
Jared's in the Wonka-vator right now. He doesn't know where he's going. Spinning everywhere.
Me and Dean are in here booking every which way. I mean, look, Raiders got absolutely embarrassed by the Jets last week. Everybody saw it. It was a bar fest, 34-3. If I'm playing one side here, it is the Oakland Raiders and John Gruden in the bounce back spot in a divisional rivalry game. I will not likely be playing this, but if I did, it would be the Raiders.
Well, the Raiders.
Yeah,
Jared, we have ESPN Plus now. We can watch
it. It's a
it.
spot play for me.
Yeah, that's fair. We can watch Booger and not Booger, anything but Booger. The Schwam and TJ. Whop! Whop! You just hear that for 15 minutes, feel content.
I was
just
watching
leave.
in the gym this morning. Chris Berman had, I guess he's going down his favorite plays of his, NFL history. Mm-hmm. And it was such a Swami thing. Play 16 was 3 separate plays, and not even plays, but like game stats from Brett Favre. So just a way for him to wank off Brett Favre for 5 minutes on ESPN. It was, his 4 touchdown game in, one season. And then, this other 4 touchdown game is just like, it's supposed to be top plays, not like, let's just go cherry pick 3 top games from Brett Favre. I just thought it was so silly and so peak Swami. I'm not a Swami hater.
And on ESPN Plus, by the way, so $4.99 a month for that garbage.
Yeah. What? That's all I want. I miss him doing home run derby, though. If I'm being honest, there was nothing better than when Vlad was in the home run derby, and he would.
Who does it now?
I don't even know.
I don't watch ESPN all that much. I'll be honest.
I don't think he does it anymore.
I don't watch ESPN ever.
Yeah, I just watch the home run derby on there. But anywho.
Well, they have NBA basketball on Friday night, so I have to watch it then.
Okay, well, I'll get back into football here before I won't go on too much of a tangent. We'll keep it on winners. Jags at home, but a 1-point dog against the in-state rival Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
It's whiffing on the Jaguars like all season. It seems like I feel like I'd be on the Bucs in this spot, but I don't want any piece of this Florida matchup. This should be a ton of points. This could be a juicy spot to play a little Jameis, a little Godwin, a little Mike Evans, Chris Conley, DJ Chark, stacks, game stack this one for DFS. It may be lightly owned, but I'm staying away. I won't touch this one.
The Jags are not showing any signs that they are slowing. Wonka spread, money line, whatever. It doesn't matter. Jameis Winston on the road laying points is an absolute abomination. He will throw 4 interceptions to this Jacksonville Jaguars defense, and they will lose the game 31-17. Jaguars.
Wow. So you're getting jagged off for the for this game?
Jagged off for the Florida battle. The war of North Florida.
The war of mediocrity in the great state of Florida.
It's a blasphemy that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers would go on the road against anybody not named the Miami Dolphins or Washington Redskins and lay points. It's insane. Maybe the Bengals. There's a caveat there. But why? What have they done? They're 4-7.
Yeah.
I understand the Jags have struggled. They got blown out last week on the road, but I trust the defense. I don't trust Jameis. Like I said, I'm looking to play Jameis on the road, getting somewhere between 4 and 7 points.
And you're not getting it here.
And he's on the road, but they're not getting anything.
Well, Jared, one of the teams you mentioned does have a home game, and that is our beautiful Bungles taking on
that one.
What? Yeah, you did. You put it on the tee. Now I just Bubba Watson it on
striped it right down the middle.
3 holes over.
Good job. Great chances.
Bengals at home taking on the Jets, Jets. And the go out to a bar, celebrate, get drunk, take the girl home, Sam Darnold, Jets -3.
Great bounce story. Jared and I were there the night that the Pats rallied back twice from being down 14 against the Baltimore Ravens on their way to their Super Bowl win against the Seattle Seahawks. Bounce holds a special place in my heart. Great.
Oh, he was at Bounce? I didn't read the article.
He was at Bounce. That's where he got smashed in. Yeah, good for him.
I had my what birthday was that, Scott, of mine? I don't even remember. Remember we got day drunk.
Yeah, I think this is that. Is that day?
No, I think it was a different time.
Oh, okay.
Anyways, great spot though. Great spot.
Great spot. If you're in Manhattan, to take a gander down to Bounce, but get a table, because if you don't get a table, you gotta wait for a drink with all the plebes, and it's not as much fun.
8 hours.
Yeah, forget about it. I'll back the Bengals in this spot. Andy Dalton, revenge game. Welcome back into the starting fold. If not now, then when for the Bengals? Jets are riding high, and I guess they kind of believe that they have a playoff shot if they just win out. So I expect you'll see a very motivated Jets team. But if this Andy Dalton-led Bengals team is not motivated, then he's never getting a starting job in the NFL. So I'll back the guy who's got a lot to lose and a little bit to win on this one. So I'll take the Bengals.
Yeah, I didn't read the article because the Darnold thing to me was the most non-story in the world. Like a 22-year-old millionaire in Manhattan made out with a girl, like BFD, dude. So are the rest of them that are 22 and multimillionaires and starting quarterbacks.
Somebody tweeted it and was like, alternate title, 22-year-old caught doing 22-year-old things.
Yeah, like what the hell? What do these people think is going on? I, too, am back in the Bengals here. The Jets did not deserve to be laying 3 points on the road. They had a very impressive win at home last week against the Raiders that everybody saw. And the Red Rifle back on the underneath center and on the saddle for the Bungles. I think they're going to get it done and get off the schneid this week. So I'll take the 3. I'll take the plus 150. I like them to get it done.
You hear those home dogs barking? Can you hear them?
I think you'll see. I would wait on this one. I think you'll see more than 3 later. I think you'll see a pretty good slug of public money coming in on the Jets.
Yeah, I agree.
Next up, a team that seems to be spiraling. The LA Rams will be taking on. We'll have the battle of the offensive minds at head coach, and the battle of who is going to be world's sexiest coach, and that is Rams Cardinals. Rams at home, or Rams, -3.
I'll back the home dog again. Rams reeling, bad locker room. Jalen Ramsey. Who's he going to go man to man on all game? Larry Fitzgerald. So Christian Kirk will go run wild. Just battle line. Chandler Jones feast game for the Cardinals defensive line on Jared Goff. Jared Goff road splits continue to be terrible. 2 straight duds that the Rams have put up. So I'll back the Cardinals here, coming off a bye, and a lot to play for. A frisky young team. So I'll take Cliff Kingsbury, also the better looking man in the head coaching good looks battle.
That's the real
flag in the ground here. Yeah, Scott's putting his flag in the ground. I don't know if I would tend to agree with you, but those like 3:30 wake up calls start wearing on people. So we'll give him a couple more years in the league, and then we'll see how he stacks up against McVay.
How that jawline holds up
for me. Yeah, exactly. This is a pass for me. I don't know if the Rams have quit. I feel like I'll know after this week. The Cardinals have some pretty good against the spread numbers this year, but they are most of the time getting somewhere between 7 and 11 points. Which is where most of their numbers have come in at. So 3 seems a bit short for me here. But again, just that I don't know if this Rams team has quit or not. If they have, I'd be very interested in backing the Cardinals at this price. But if they haven't, that 3 is just a little too short for me. So I'll stay away and gather one more data point.
Yeah. I mean, if you're the Rams, how do you feel having Jalen doing what Jalen Ramsey being and seeing him doing what he's doing when you just traded the future of your franchise for this guy?
Oh, dude, they are so up Schitt's Creek. They got Gurley with all this money. They owe Goff all this money. And then they just mortgaged the future to get Ramsey in terms of draft picks. So, like, this is the team, dude. Like, This is it. This is what you're going to have.
Yeah. Don't forget, Cooks and Darnold are locked up with a ton of cash. Woods locked up as well. Just, it's rough. It's rough.
Yeah.
They went for it. This is the cautionary tale of going for it and when it goes wrong.
Yeah. How about I thought the best part of that game was watching Marcus Peters just be absolutely obnoxious as crap. He's like, "Hey, remember when you traded me for this clown?" But hey,
Oh, yeah, that's right.
sports are great. That's what Jalen almost got in a fight with him after the game. It's just unbelievable. But I saw one meme, and it was when you realize, which also this guy's on the team, but he goes, when you realize Jared Goff is just Blake Bortles with money.
Ooh.
Bortles has money.
Yeah.
Didn't he get drafted when they were still getting fat deals?
No.
I think he did.
I think that was like
Okay,
I think that was one of the first couple of years. The Jamarcus Russell rule.
Yeah.
Yeah. Still phenomenal, folks. If you haven't heard this story, which if you listen to this podcast, you're probably a big football guy. But the fact that they sent home empty reels of film with Jamarcus Russell to watch, and he came back in and started talking about what schemes he saw on the film, is the most unbelievable story I think that could ever come out of football. Next
The
game.
commitment to the hustle.
Yeah, that perp. Next game, Broncos at Mile High. Chargers, though, the favorite, -3.
I'm going to stay away from this one. I'm not a Brendan Allen believer. Sounds like Darwin James will be back. He could be good for a nice pick six on the young fella. I lean Chargers, but I'm going to stay far away from this one because I don't feel comfortable Phillip Rivers going on the road to Mile High and laying the lumber like that. I don't think they're 9-point favorites at home. So staying away, lean Chargers, but I don't have a lot of interest in this one.
Yeah, this will be a pass for me, too. I've been looking for spots to fade Vic Fangio all year. I feel like I've been on that trade kind of from the jump. But the Los Angeles Chargers are not a team that I have any interest in laying points on the road with. And as such, I'll be staying away from this one.
There you go. Next on the docket, the old Browns favored on the road. And here we go with the rematch against the Steelers, -2 for the Browns.
Number seems awfully short. Browns can be hotter. Steelers on their third string quarterback, multiple injuries, no Juju, no James Conner. I'll back the Steelers all day in this game. Mike Tomlin is a guy who gets a lot out of his players in big emotional spots. And if he can't outcoach Freddie Kitchens, I'd be really surprised. But the real buster here is that the Steelers' defensive line will be all over Baker Mayfield in this one, just like they were earlier in the season. He's going to be very uncomfortable in that pocket. He's not going to get Dolphins type, time in the pocket. So I'll take the home team, home dog, in division, emotional game. Give me the Steelers.
Yeah, I'm with Scott here. Duck Hodges is going to get the start. We were both on Bengals last week, so I watched quite a bit of the second half of that game, and he came in and really provided a spark to that offense against Mason Rudolph. I don't know if he's got some lingering concussion issues from the Myles Garrett thing or what the deal is, but I mean that to me is the most interesting part of this whole deal. Is that was 2 weeks ago?
Yeah.
Yep.
That game. I can't remember if it was 2 or 3. 2 weeks ago, at their place, they crush your quarterback, who's now out of the game. And oh, by the way, they beat you pretty good at their place. And throw all the other stuff out. This is a pretty significant divisional rival. And I'm with Scott. I like a huge emotional spot for Pittsburgh to get right, and I like Duck Hodges getting back to the game. So I'll take the 2 points. I think you could see this get to 3. So stand by if you are looking to back Pittsburgh.
Yeah, 70% of the bets are on the Browns. People are going to be like, who's this Hodges guy starting? And, we got Odell, we got Baker, Kareem Hunt.
I think Hodges is better than Mason
I
Rudolph.
agree. From what I've seen, definitely.
Oh, yeah. He can sling it. Hey, broke those McNair records. I'm going to keep talking about it because I don't think a lot of people know. This dude slung the rock at Samford. Next up, I've been waiting all day for a Sunday night. That is Pats, Texans.
Okay, Kerry.
Yeah, hey. I wish I had those legs. I mean, come on. Pats -3 traveling to Houston.
Should be a get right spot for the Patriots offense, but I'm not touching this one just because Deshaun Watson has looked good against the Pats in the past. They are on extended rest. Two teams very familiar with themselves will probably be playing the Patriots money line because they are 10-1 historically against these Texans. They just own this team. They absolutely own this team. So I'll be on the Pats money line. I won't take them spread, but I just don't see them losing this game to the Texans. So that's where I stand on this one.
Yeah, I bet the Texans last Thursday night wound up being wrong. I'm going to go back to the well with them again here off of kind of a half bye week, if you will. So they're in the late Sunday night spot off of a Thursday night game the previous week. I have not seen enough. I said that I'm going to say the same thing about this game that I said about the game against Baltimore. So rewind and repeat everything that I said there. I do not trust this Patriots offense to score a significant amount of points. It bit us last week against Dallas, and they lost, obviously, to the Ravens. Until I start to see something, and this is, I've seen a couple things on Twitter or whatever that this is 2015 Peyton Manning with Tom Brady. That is not the case. He was effectively in a wheelchair back there, couldn't throw the ball more than like 12 yards down the field. I don't totally buy that either. But when I look at why the Patriots are winning games, it's that their defense is fantastic and that their special teams has been able to score enough points to get them margins of victory. So at home, Sunday night, juiced crowd, Deshaun Watson, big fan of him. I think they'll be able to keep it inside the number in a very low-scoring, tight game. So yet again, the Undertaker is back. I would look to go under the 45.5. And take the Texans plus the 3. I do think you'll get to 3.5 because I think you'll see a pretty good slug of Patriots money here.
Yeah, it'll be a fun one. And then obviously we'll talk about the Monday night game when we do the recap show, which it will be between.
I'm jacked for the Monday night game.
Oh man, that's a good one. Another great game. This is awesome. No more buys. This is a great slate of games. I'm really excited. Well, obviously 49ers, Ravens, but Cardinals, Rams, love to see how the Rams come out. Mm-hmm. Love to see how the Giants come out against the Packers, Titans, Colts. That's for the division, huge implications there. And then Steelers, Browns. I mean, let's see what you got, Steelers. Let's see. This is a total, pride game. Juiced for it, and they're somehow in the playoffs right now, and they could just squash the Browns' playoff hopes with a win in this one. So, juiced for the weekend, but more juice for wine and turkey tomorrow.
Yeah, it's gonna be a good turkey day. Well, fellas,
So hold on. So we're gonna recap. Let's recap our plays for tomorrow at least.
Okay. Oh yeah. I'll let you guys do your turkey day. Yep.
So I like Bears money line. I don't like it at -5 anymore, but I'll lay 2.5 to 1 on the money line. I like that game under 38, right? That's the number, Jared, 38. I'm not misspeaking. 37. Still like it. Bills plus 6.5. If you can find a 7, that'd be awesome. A little sprinkle on the money line. And then Falcons, Saints, no play from me. And then the 3-team 10-point teaser for Turkey Day under 47 Bears, Lions plus 16.5 Bills over 38.5 Falcons, Saints.
I like that. I guess 10-point teasers always sound good. That's what I'm like.
They always sound good.
Tasty. They always sound good though. Under 37 Bears and Lions, Bills plus 6.5. You should be able to find some 7s if you shop around, or maybe you can get a cheap buy. I'm seeing -105 plus 6.5 right now. And then, as Scott said, a little pizza box money on the money line plus 245 plus 250, and then would lean under 48 in New Orleans and the Falcons. So if I did a 3-teamer, 10-pointer, it'd be under 47 Bears, Lions, Bills plus 16.5, and then under 58.5 Falcons, Saints.
Well, there you have it. So if you're listening to us on your drive over to that relative's house, you can get out of the car now. It's going to be okay. You're going to make it through it. We're going to make it through it. We're going to have football. And remember, you always got the Saints-Falcons game if those early games don't work right, and it really starts to get heated over that nice Thanksgiving dinner. So enjoy your Turkey Day. Enjoy the weekend. Football galore. From myself, Mike Larson, Jared Larson, Scott Panza. Have a wonderful Thanksgiving, junkies. We are out of here.
Gobble, gobble.